When you are preparing your field, the most important thing to you is having that perfect seed bed. Case IH is excited to release their new AFS Soil Command, which will ensure that you do get a perfect seed bed. Chris, can you tell me some of the features of it?
Sure. Well, first off, with AFS Soil Command, we were looking to create the perfect seed bed, as you said. Now, what does that really look like? You really need to understand that. Obviously, a customer and a producer is really looking at the surface most of the time when they're looking at their field cultivator and the finish that it creates. And that's probably what they identify as their seed bed. Well, we look a little bit deeper at Case IH into the seedbed floor as well. And the floor is created really by the sweep of a field cultivator and the bottom of it and how that profile, that sweep runs. So if that sweep's running flat, we're getting a flat floor. Now, if that sweep starts to trip or that shank starts to trip and it noses down, that's when we start seeing an uneven seedbed floor, and you don't know it. You have no feedback today telling you that it is uneven. Well, why is that important? Well, obviously, if the planter is running on that seedbed, it is potentially bouncing up and down, creating seed placement issues, which can create issues for emergence, and at the end of the movie, lower yield potential. So with Soil Command, we're able to measure the position of that shank and make sure that it stays flat. Now, if it is starting to move and we're measuring and seeing on our display that there's an issue, we can do something about it. Where before, there was nothing we could do, where we didn't know what was happening. Or you're buying, and you still could, and still maybe should buy these highly advanced, down pressure systems for your planter to react to it. But it's doing just that, reacting. So we want to be proactive with our field cultivator and create this perfect seedbed so our planter doesn't have to react.
Yeah.
It can just go plant and do what it needs to do at its highest productivity levels.
Sure.
So how does it work? Maybe the next question. We kind of know why we're doing it, so how does it work? Well, each one of our shanks here have a sensor on it, and this sensor is measuring the position of our shank and how much it's really tripped. And if we're getting into a hard area of a field, or we have a setting, or we're going too fast, the shank begins to trip. And down here we have our sweep, and you can see this one is pulled back a little bit, maybe versus the others that are just behind it. This nose is going to create a furrow in the ground, and that's what's going to create my uneven seed bed. And of course on my display then report up to me if I'm having an issue or not. So if you look at my display up on the screen, you'll see that the left-hand section is at a 75% seed optimization. Or seedbed floor optimization number. That's telling me there's something out of place, something wrong with that section. And if there's something wrong with it, we need to do something about it. Maybe make an adjustment, make a speed change potentially, or maybe even optimize my speed.
Right.
So that's AFS Soil Command in a nutshell.
When will it be available to your customers?
It's going to be available spring 2019 to be able to install on the TigerMate 255 field cultivator. Prior models at this point, we're not going to release it for that, mainly due to some shank changes that we made on the 255,
Okay.
as well as not available for any competitive machines either.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.